Okay, Rishi's just reattaching itself just weirdly there. But I think I'm back again. Okay. Lore recap. That's the entire reason I'm here. Okay, recording again. Good night. So, our main villain of the game so far is Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. And her goal is not exactly clear at the moment, but what she's done is she's convinced a bunch of the different villains from the Disney movies, such as Hades, Captain Hook, Oogie Boogie, Ursula, and I'm missing one. I think I'm missing one, but I could be wrong. Anyway, convince them to work together in order to in order to complete her goals, which seems to be from the using the Heartless to further her goals. She is looking for these princesses that we've not been told what's important about them yet, or even how many they need. But they're looking for those, plus they are looking for the keyholes. And the keyholes, basically the reason they're looking for those for two reasons. One, Sora's looking for them to seal them, and they kind of want to stop Sora from doing that. That makes some sense. The other reason is that the Heartless naturally want to find them so that they can do, as the lore states, do something to the heart of those worlds that they can access through those keyholes, which causes the world to be swallowed up in darkness. And of course, that's why that is because we don't want the world to swallow up in darkness. Any of the worlds. We've already seen that happen once. We don't want that to happen again. So that's the general plan. Each of the Disney villains has their own agendas that using the Heartless is helping them with. The only one we've actually seen how that's going, though, is Hades. Because Hades is using the Heartless in order to try and attack Hercules through this tournament. For what reason other than he just hates Hercules because he's Zeus's kid? I remember there's a reason from the movie, and it's tied into that because the Hercules world is its story is definitely taking place during the film, or as much during the film as it can. Mostly during the montage, the Zero to Hero montage, is about when that's supposed to be taking place. So, and I can say that confidently because I've played like every other Kingdom Hearts game that Hades shows up in. So I know how the whole thing's going to turn out. So yeah, Olympus Coliseum is the one that shows up the most. But I'm getting lots of money. So that's their plan. But what are the Heartless? What is the Heartless's plan? Because to a degree, it looks like the Disney villains, while they can summon the Heartless and kind of point them in the right direction, they don't really control them, you know. And the Heartless are pretty much instinctual creatures. They are going after people's hearts. And the reason they're going after people's hearts is, well, that's how they make more Heartless. Because all a Heartless is a person whose heart has been swallowed up by darkness, and then they turn into these little monsters that we have to fight. There's two different kinds that we'll see. Some have a emblem on their on them somewhere, and those are called Emblem Heartless. And then there's some, namely the Shadow, that does not have an emblem on them. and they are the more naturally made Heartless. I say it that way. I think I kind of spoiled where the emblem Heartless came from, but we won't get too deep into that at the moment. So once they get more Heartless, the Heartless can then hopefully find the Heartless will then try and find the keyhole, which is where the heart of the world will lead them to the heart of the world, where they could then swallow up the world, so the world will fall into darkness and more Heartless. Yeah, it's all, like I said, it's all instinctual for them. There's no real intent behind that, and that is assuming that even the Heartless, that there's not something else going on there. The Disney villains can't even completely control where the Heartless actually go, as the Heartless are pretty much invading anywhere they can. And the real proof of that is actually in the Deep Jungle level, as the Disney villains are, one of the Disney villains, I think it was Jafar, actually. Jafar was who I was missing a minute ago. Jafar asked what brought the Heartless to that world, and it was Maleficent who stated that it was the hunters, the darkness in the hunter's heart that drew them there. So that brings up the question as to what is it that draws the Heartless to a place? What is it that they're actually coming after? And I think what it comes down to, I know they say it's the darkness that drew them there. I think to some degree they're attracted to power. But I think there's also a little bit more to it than that also. I can't really spoil that too. I don't want to spoil that too much, because admittedly that comes up with some more story later on. But yeah, there's just, the Heartless just want to consume the light and turn it all to darkness, because that's just what they do. They are attracted to the darkness in people's hearts, and that's what draws them there. So since they're going to be there anyway, that's why the Disney villains naturally are naturally using them, because if they can control the Heartless, even for just a bit, then they can further their goals and then maybe cause the Heartless to go elsewhere, is maybe what they're thinking. Of course, that's the problem. I'm still here, I think. I didn't have to reboot OBS this time. Yeah, I didn't have, okay, we're good. We are good. I am going to have to figure out what's going on with that, because that is getting annoying. I don't know if it's a local thing or if it's something else, but that is getting annoying. Okay, so yeah, I am back. I didn't drop the recording, so I'm going to keep going from there. Hi, Andy. How's it going? So, back to where I was going, or I was talking about. So if that's what... So we don't really know what Maleficent's plan is completely, so we don't know why she's doing that, other than she's looking for these princesses. Now, the thing about those princesses is... we get the feeling this is more of... they don't necessarily have to be an actual quote-unquote princess to be a princess, because Alice from Alice in Wonderland is one of these princesses, apparently. We saw that at the end of the during the aside after we beat Deep Jungle, because if you beat it in the prescribed order, that's after, you know, Alice got kidnapped in Wonderland. That is who we find out who kidnapped her, and it was Maleficent's gang, probably with the use of some Heartless. So if Alice herself is a princess, despite the fact that I think this is the only place in all either Disney canon or myth or fiction canon that I've ever heard Alice from Alice in Wonderland referred to as a princess, that must mean it's more of a, not an honorary title, but more of a status, perhaps referring to a legend. And it is a legend, I'll go ahead and tell you that. I will go ahead and also tell you that by all technical accounts, we've seen 6 princesses in the game at this point. I'm not going to tell you who they all are, but if you remember back to the dream sequence at the beginning of the game, we saw the platforms and we saw 4 of the princesses there, and then there was a 3-heart panel that were for the princesses who weren't captured yet. One of those was Alice, and the other one has also shown up, but I'm not going to tell you who it is. I may have already given it away, but we'll see. And this is not where I intended to go. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump back into where our heroes are to kind of explain a couple more interesting things that occurred there. So yeah, our 3 primary heroes are on the island. We had Sora, Riku, and Kairi. Now Sora, the 3 of them are, what they're doing is, at the beginning of the game, is they are building a raft and gathering supplies to go on a trip that will take them, quote unquote, to other worlds. Now, when you actually look at what there's a popular Reddit thread that says I don't understand their plan, because yeah, they are talking about going to different worlds, and all they're bringing with them is 3 mushrooms, 1 egg, and then like 1 glass of water, basically, and that is like all of their provisions. So yeah, I don't know what they're planning on doing after that. What their plan was to do after that, but it ends up being, you know, not necessary. But when you look at why they're wanting to do this, is where it gets kind of interesting, because Sora, while Sora definitely wants to see other worlds, I kind of get the feeling that Sora would have just been just as happy hanging out with Riku and Kairi on the island without being instead of just going to the other worlds. Riku, on the other hand, I felt trapped on the island, and that's why he naturally gravitated to trying to get off the island as much as he could. I will be right back. Stop. All right. Hey, Kirk, how's it going? I am grinding levels out, and at the same time, I am also recording my Untangling Kingdom Hearts. So, how are y'all doing? What's my Rushmore of video games I want to be a part of? I'm already gonna be on your what was it, the Life Albums Rushmore episode? You want me to come in on a video game one too? I mean, I'm all for doing it. I don't remember what y'all haven't done yet, but I could definitely probably come up with a topic. Oh, I haven't shown this off on stream yet. I got a new amiibo, and this will probably be the last amiibo I buy for a while. Yeah, I am an owner of the Sora amiibo. So, along with, if I can pick them up, also got PS1 Cloud and Sephiroth. Although this Sephiroth is much more Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth due to the use of the wing. No, I mean a video game you would want to actually be in. I don't know. Video game I would actually want... That seems like a very dangerous idea, because I'm fairly certain I would not survive long in any video game world in reality. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I would go with there. Since I've stopped, I will go ahead and do what I kept threatening to do earlier and actually fix my shortcuts menu. So yeah, maybe if I was in a video game, my top 4. Oh, I am not sure. Okay, I'm going to assume that that in these games I would be as resilient as the people in them, so I'm not gonna die as much, or if I get hurt, there's like an easy way to heal and all that sort of stuff. I'm gonna go with Mario Kart 8 because I'm assuming I'll be able to survive that world as much as the actual inhabitants of that world. You know, I would not mind Final Fantasy X after they save everything. Because that's that feels like it would be a fun world to be in. I'd probably be down in Besaid, probably. Wouldn't mind being in Hyrule when Ganon's not attacking. And then, you'd think Kingdom Hearts would be one of them, but I don't know if I'd want to live there, you know? Hey, it's Disney World, so I mean, how bad could it be? But there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in these games. I did need a break from the recording for a bit. You know what? I go with Star Fox. I think that could be fun. My audio's cutting in and out. I've been having internet issues last little bit today, so I suspect it's more that than the other. I have lost 413 frames since I last lost connection, so that may be what that was. Just gonna skip by these guys right now because I don't want to deal with them. And they're not attacking me, so. Okay, so I was, before I took the break, I was talking about Riku feeling, feeling trapped on the island, so that's where I'm coming back at. See, I feel Riku is trapped. Feels trapped on the island, and the primary reason he even knows that there's anywhere else to go, and primary reason why he even began feeling trapped in the first place, is because of Kairi's appearance. Because Kairi's not a native of the island; she's actually from elsewhere. They found her on the beach. And the mayor took her in and was kind of raised her from that point on. She claims not to have memory of where she was before that, but at least subconsciously through a couple of the scenes and some of her reactions, we kind of get the feeling she may at least subconsciously remember aspects of her life before Destiny Islands. So she's willing to go on the trip with Sora Riku, not just to hang out with her friends, but also on the chance she finds her original home and what her life was before that point. And she, as we can see in that opening, she's a little worried about Riku because maybe she is seeing somebody else in him from her past life. And that's what's making her wary through some of those bits. But before I get too far, before I get to the Heartless invasion, though, I do want to touch on one scene, bring it back up, and that is when Sora goes into the secret place to find the mushroom. The secret place has like a ton of drawings carved into the wall. And one of those carvings is Sora and Kairi talking to each other that we see a quick little cutscene flashback of them drawing on that wall as kids. So yeah, Kairi has been there a while. And yeah, she's a much better artist than Sora is when you look at it. While Sora's in there, he goes and continues drawing on that, making it appear as if he's giving her a Paopu fruit, which I'll get more into that later. But along that wall, right next to where all that's happening, is this door. And I say door for lack of a better term, because it really looks like it's every part of the wood of a door, like it's shaped like a door, but it doesn't have a doorknob or locks or hinges. It's just set into the rocks. So how you're supposed to open it, it's not really shown how it's supposed to open. And that's for good reason. Sora doesn't even think about it, but while he's down there, a mysterious hooded figure comes in and says that he was there to see the door to the heart of this world. And if you remember what I was saying what the Heartless were doing earlier, they're looking for a way into the heart of the world. So probably that is the door that takes that leads that way, which means there's probably a keyhole that we can't see. Which anyone who's played might know more of how that is interesting. We'll return to that much later. But later that night, when the Heartless attack, we do come back out to the island, and we know Riku and Kairi are there because their boats are still there, which makes you wonder why they were wanting to build a raft when they had boats. But hey, what do I know? They are kids after all. So they, other than you'd think they would just lash the boats together, is what I'm saying. But you find Riku out on this island that's right there next to the main island, and he's found a way to get off the world and to see the other worlds, and he's acting like this is the best thing that's ever happened. He wants Sora to come with him, but even if you, it doesn't take a brain surgeon, I think, to figure out that perhaps the dark tentacles curling around our two friends is probably not the best way to go. But Sora does reach out to him only for the Keyblade to show up and kind of protect Sora, and Riku then disappears. Now, we know from a later scene that where Riku went was to the base of a waterfall that was falling upward. And when he arrived there, Maleficent was there pretty much to greet him. So yeah, that was probably not... It's not great for Riku, but that's where he went. Sora now has a Keyblade and can now actually do something against the Heartless. So fights his way over to the secret place, and that's where he sees Kairi. Now, Kairi's acting a little weird. She's kind of zombied out, for lack of a better term. And it's not entirely sure why. But before much can happen, that door I was talking about, it opens and a lot of darkness pours out of it, and it throws Kairi towards Sora. But when they are about to hit, if you remember, Kairi just disappears. And at that point, Sora goes out, fights another dark side, and then gets whisked away to Traverse Town. Now, meanwhile, while all this was happening, if you remember, Donald and Goofy are find out that King Mickey is missing back at Disney Castle, and but King Mickey had left a note that they were supposed to go to Traverse Town and find this guy named Leon who will point them towards the key, and then they're supposed to stay with that key until they catch back up with King Mickey. What King Mickey is doing is he's trying to figure out why the stars are going out. Spoiler alert, the stars are going out because those worlds are disappearing into darkness. And we know that because when Donald and Goofy arrive in Traverse Town, they look up in the sky, they see a light disappear in the sky right before Sora shows up. Obviously, that being Destiny Islands falling into darkness. So, why did Destiny Islands get attacked by the Heartless? Is going to be the question. Well, if you remember back what I said about Clayton, how the darkness is what drew the Heartless to Deep Jungle, then it must have been the darkness of someone on Destiny Islands that drew the Heartless to Destiny Islands. And who was the one who probably had the darkness to deal with? Well, it was probably Riku. And I say that because, you know, he's the one who had the strongest desire, and the Heartless granted him his desire. He should have been careful what he wished for, but, you know, maybe you shouldn't follow in the dark portal into nowhere just because you want to get off world. So yeah, if you want to know who to blame for Destiny Islands falling into darkness, it was Riku. Because he so badly wanted to get off world that he caused the Heartless to show up. And then, well, he didn't really control him very well, but it's not like the world had much defenses until the Keyblade showed up, and then it was a bit too late to do much about it. So, like I said, Riku ended up at the bottom of a rising waterfall, which is weird enough as it is. But where did Kairi go? Well, Sora, as we noted, went to Traverse Town. When he got swallowed up by the big dark portal, that's where he ended up. And there he met Leon, I say with the air quotation marks, because we all know him better as Squall from Final Fantasy VIII. And he and Yuffie and Aerith gave us all a big exposition dump, telling us that about all the Heartless and what they do and what their plan is and why the Keyblade is the only thing that can stop them. Blah 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 blah. And then through some antics, everyone gets split up, but we meet all back to take out the power armor. Well, one thing that's interesting in there is when Sora wakes up after he gets knocked out by Squall and Yuffie is there talking to him, Sora thinks it's Kairi. But here's the thing. It's not Kairi, it's Yuffie. And it's not like she was pretending to be Kairi or anything like that. Sora mistook her for Kairi. So you can kind of understand that he is just waking up from getting knocked out. That by itself wouldn't be much of a call, but here's the other thing about that. Later on, when you return to Traverse Town, and you're in the what's going to end up being Merlin's study, but before Merlin unpacks everything, actually before even Merlin even shows up, Sora gets a quick vision of Kairi walking around this musty area, and it's obvious that she is referring. What she's saying is referring to what she is seeing. It's not a misremembrance. This is an actual conversation happening. But when Donald and Goofy say, "Who are you talking to?" Sora turns away and then turns back to look at Kairi. Kairi's gone. So Sora's seeing Kairi in different places, despite the fact we don't know where Kairi is, and obviously she's not there, so where is Kairi? Yeah, I know the answer. I ain't telling y'all yet. You might be able to guess, but I will neither confirm nor deny. So we go around to different worlds after that point. Like I said, we go to Wonderland, we go to Olympus Coliseum, and we go to Deep Jungle. In Wonderland and Deep Jungle, we end our little journeys by sealing a keyhole, while we don't get to do this yet in Olympus Coliseum. Keyword yet. Olympus Coliseum is different in the fact that you have to win all the tournaments to actually, quote unquote, complete the level. And the tournaments don't pop up until you beat certain different parts of, they don't unlock until you beat certain parts of the game. So, yeah, our goal is, while they went to these worlds to look for Mickey, King Mickey, and Riku and Kairi, they didn't find them there, but they found stuff that they had to take care of while they were there. So that has become Sora's goal now, is when he gets to their world and Riku and Kairi aren't there, he's got to find the keyhole and close it up. Fair enough. That's kind of his responsibility as the wielder of the Keyblade. But what's interesting is we get to Deep Jungle, and like I said, this is not a world the Disney villains were working on. We got there kind of by accident. We crash landed on the planet, if we're being honest, because Donald and Sora got into a fight in the cockpit. And then, because that is actually what happened. And then, while there, of course, we ran to Tarzan, and Sora, not feeling, too swift about Donald at the time, is trying to thinking that maybe Riku and Kairi were here, tries to get him to understand, thinks that Tarzan is telling him that his friends are here, and he misunderstands. In the gorilla language that Tarzan speaks throughout most of the game, this is pronounced, he keeps using the phrase eh, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, which we later learn is the word for friend in gorilla, but it's a little bit more, it means more than just friend. It refers to hearts, because as Tarzan kind of explains in his broken English, that the reason Clayton got into the trouble he did was because he was not keeping up with his friends in his heart. He had no friends in his heart, so he lost his heart. This is bringing up an weird philosophical questions. It's like, okay, in the context of Kingdom Hearts, what is a heart? Well, we really haven't gotten into it yet, and I kind of don't want to touch on it till we do get a little farther into some of those explanations. But I will go ahead and tell you, it's not the same way we would normally refer to hearts, or at least obviously not in the organ sense, because it's obviously meant more as a metaphorical sense. But yeah, it's a little bit more than that. So yeah, the reason people turn into heartless is because the darkness in their heart consumes them, right? And it's because they lose the connections to their friends in their hearts, which almost makes being turned into a heartless be because you were depressed in a weird sort of way. I don't think that's what they were intentionally going for, but that's kind of how it comes out. And I have a bot to kill, which means I got to get over to Twitch. Click you and report for spam. It is definitely spam. And selling viewers. Submit report. Yes, I want to block the user. There we go. Now that he's taken care of. Make sure that audio is recording. Okay. So that's where the gang is. We still don't know where King Mickey is. Donald and Goofy have not found him. they've not really gotten much to do, if we're being honest, other than just being back up to Sora. We have found 2 Navi G pieces that maybe were left by the king, but we don't know that for certain. But yeah, I think that's pretty much how the lore shakes out for now. Next time, I will be going to Agrabah, and we'll be talking about that, so join me then. In the meantime, this has been Drew, and I'll catch you in the next frame. Okay. Untangling Kingdom Hearts is done recording. Now I just play and grind and talk to you folks. Assuming I have people watching. Okay.
Give me strength. Give me strength. Come on. Courage.
Okay. I finished checking what I was checking on. Okay. It's all good. I've done this a lot already. Let's try a different spot just to mix up where we're grinding at. Just for difference. I think I may have to enter it from this other direction unless it doesn't do it again. Ah. Yeah, there were bots. I already took care of it, Artsy. I done blocked the dude and reported him. So how are you been doing, Artsy? I saw you removing all your stuff off Meta. I'm assuming there was an AI issue there. is your primary reason. And I can understand not wanting them to, you know, steal your work. I do get that. Come on, go down. There we go.
Take that. Take that. Take that.
Looks like I've lost a couple more frames since then. I really got to figure out what's going on with my internet. I will say now, if it goes down again, I'm just going to save the game wherever I'm at and call it a night then. Yeah, I can't get up there. Where's that? There it is. A very merry unbirthday. I still can't sit in these chairs. I'm wondering what is the holdup on being able to do that, because I know you can.
Come on.
Come on. Go down. Here we go. Okay, I think I've about taken care of what I can here. That's the problem with Wonderland, is it's so small, it's hard to actually trigger the Heartless battles. Alrighty. I am going to go ahead and check out the item shop because I feel like I need to upgrade some stuff, and I know I've got the money for it. So I've got both of Donald's weapons, and I've got both of Goofy's. So yeah, I can't upgrade that, so that's a shame. Ah, it's already doing that. There's something about doing Simba's with the Jungle King Keyblade that just fits in terms of the cutscene. You know it?
Get me straight. Get me straight. Come on. Get me straight.
Oh no.
Come on. Power.
Come on. Go down, them pink monkey heartless. Sniper Wilds. Ah, fiddlesticks. Oh well. Well, it is 9:20. I've done about what I wanted to do tonight. I may go ahead and kill it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just jump in here right quick and save. I already know, starting out on the next one, we're going to see one entirely missable cutscene. If you don't do it now, before Agrabah, you might not see it. So, join me for that next week. But yeah, let me see if I can find somebody to raid. On the Twitch side. Looks like Retro is playing some Mega Man. I assume that's what he's still doing. Yeah. We'll head over there. So go say hi to Roy for me. I don't know if... Well, I'm glad it does.